So you want to make sure you start off with a clean glass slide. And there are two ways to put bacteria on a slide. There should also be some clips. Here we go, got it. You're going to hold on to these slides with this. Don't hold on to it like this, because you're going to think that it's dropping, and your natural instinct is going to be to squeeze harder, and you're going to drop it and break it. So if you hold on to it like this, you can squeeze as hard as you want, and it's not going to go anywhere, right? So we take that slide, and we're going to rub bacteria on it. And there are two ways of doing that. You can either put a drop of water onto it, which if we start off with a bacterial plate, we would. So if I wanted to take some of this bacteria off of this plate, it would be really dry and highly concentrated. And it would stain poorly. So what we would do is we would put a drop of water here first, and then we would mix the bacteria in with the water and then dry it. And then we're going to put that over a heat flame, and it's going to heat fix it. It's going to mount the bacteria and kill the bacteria to the slide. That's where we're going to stain it. Okay? So we have a liquid culture and we have a slant. And so in both of those cases, in one of those cases, I'm going to want to put water. So I'm going to use that DH2O, deionized water. And I'm just going to put some water on this little loop here. Well, if I can, I'll just put one little drop, which will be great. That's fine. So I take some bacteria. Use my aseptic technique. Take a little bit of bacteria, and you only need a little bit. And I'm going to mix it in with this water. So now it's evenly distributed in that water, and they should fall flat onto the slide after I evaporate the water away. I'll take this. This is E. coli. I'm going to put it right next to it. It already has water in it. It's already a liquid. Okay, so now we're ready to heat fix it and dry it. And the way that we do that is we expose the slide to a little bit of heat, but we don't bake it, because what will happen is the glass will fracture and it'll break, it'll explode, right? So we just get it warm, and then that warm slide is going to increase the evaporation rate, and it's going to dry the bacteria right on the slide. So a little bit of heat, and then just let it bake. And what you'll do is you can see that it's evaporating. You can watch it evaporate. Now I put a lot more water on this side, and I shouldn't have done that. So it's going to take a lot more heat. If I try to bake that dry quickly, that's already dry. What it'll do is it'll melt the membrane, and all the bacterial structures will just fall apart. So you don't want to overheat it. So I'm just going to try to heat one side of it. Try to stay away from this.
Watch out for the wood on the clip.
Burn the shit out of that clip.
That's why we have these clips.
Oh, but it's made of wood. It's gonna catch on fire.
I know. I know.
You know that it is.
Okay, so now you can see it's starting to go, and it's all drying up. So you don't have to keep heating it, because the slide retains a little bit of the heat, enough to evaporate that water. Okay, so most of it's evaporated, and I'm pretty good. So I'll just go 1, 2, 3, and that's enough heat to lock all those bacteria onto the slide. Turn this off. Turn this off. Then I'm going to stain it. And the way I stain it is just to put 1 drop of this dye onto bacteria. Just 1 drop. And I let it sit there. Now, in your protocol, it will say let it sit there for a minute or 30 seconds or 20 seconds. And those times are really soft, to get perfect staining. If you left it on there for an hour, it would dry up, then it would not work. As long as it's still liquid and it's not condensed and dried out, usually if I let it go a little longer, no problem. But it stains pretty quick, so you can actually start washing it right away. And so I'm going to wash it off with water. I'm not going to wash the bacteria directly, I'm going to indirectly wash them by letting water drain through them. That's the best way. Because I don't want to knock off a bunch of bacteria, right? Now that I've strained it, now everything's got to be really gentle. Okay? And I wait for the water coming off of the slide not to be blue, or violet in this case. And then I'm going to use that pack of paper, that white pack of paper called bibulus paper, and I'm going to dry it. And at the same time I'm drying it, I'm also going to be taking off the top layer of bacteria that might be sitting on bacteria underneath it. So if there's some loose bacteria, it'll get rid of it. So you just close this book, rub it, don't rub it too hard, you'll crack the slide. But just rub it, then there you go. All your bacteria is stained, and now you can see what shape it is. Okay? So those two bacteria do exactly what I just did, and look at it under a microscope with oil at 1000x, take a picture, and you're done.